All right, let's go. Hi, muckers. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very, very, very well. And tonight, it is a really special video because we are taking Hi Muckers to the meaning of Hi Muckers. Hello. Hi. I'm like on the same wavelength as a lot of my muckers normally are. So this video might be a mess. I might get myself in trouble, but you know what? I'm here to have fun, and I hope you are too. So we are going to be talking about Mikayla Nogueira and Oscar Gracie and Trisha Paytas and basically everything that went down. Oscar and Trisha have now addressed it, and obviously they were getting a lot of backlash, I guess, because Mikayla publicly was talking about all of this. And okay, so again, what happened was Trisha and Oscar on Just Trish talked about Mikayla Nogueira when she was talking about her husband going to rehab. And Oscar was basically saying that, you know, when she was doing this video, she was promoting her products, you know, at the same time, and just that it felt like inauthentic, right? Trisha wasn't even like agreeing or disagreeing. Trisha was just like moaning, how she normally does in a conversation. And Oscar was like agreeing with Moses, and Moses was agreeing with Oscar. And then Mikayla makes like this entire big social media thing where she's crying and she's like, oh my God, I had tickets to Trisha Paytas' show in Boston, but now Trisha and Oscar are saying this really bad stuff about my partner and his addiction or whatever she was saying, that I don't want to go anymore. When you actually watch the clip, not only does Oscar not say anything bad or Moses say anything bad, Trisha doesn't say anything. So it was really weird that Mikayla blew this up, went on Instagram, went on all these different rants, and people, whenever we filmed on it in the comments, were like, oh, this just kind of seems like Mikayla wanted to go backstage or wanted to like go on Just Trish or something, because why are you so overtly telling us that you had tickets to the Trisha show and now you're too scared to go? Because you know everyone's going to tell you to go, and then that brings the attention to Trisha that you're going. And then Trisha obviously made a response and was like, I'm so sorry. She basically didn't know what she was sorry for, but she was just kind of being like Trisha in 2025 and apologizing. And it was really, really strange. And Trisha was like, you know, you can come backstage, you can. So I feel like that is what Mikayla wanted. She wanted, you know, this priority access to Trisha without having to ask Trisha for it. So this was, but it was really weird, right? And we now have footage as if it's a documentary. We now have a clip from Just Trish where Trisha and Oscar are addressing what was said on the last podcast with Mikayla. And again, we reacted to Trisha's response to Mikayla on TikTok. But again, she didn't need to apologize for anything. It was such bullshit. Also, just want to let you know that on Monday, literally in a week, we are starting the second and final leg of the Chronically Online Tour. If you want to come and you want to get tickets, use code DIVINE. You will get 25% off all tickets from Nashville down to San Francisco. So yeah, in the next couple days, we're going to be doing Nashville, Philly, Washington, and Boston. So if anyone has any recommendations for those places, please keep them coming. Thank you to everyone who's been giving me recommendations because it is very, very, very helpful. So yeah, if you want tickets, code DIVINE. And also, Patreon is linked down below. We are currently reacting to Escape the Night, Joey Graceffa YouTube show. And it is just terrible. We did Beast Games, Mr. Beast. We do podcasts. We do everything over there. So if you want extra content, there is so much over there. And it's a really big support of my channel. But let's get to this clip. You know what I'm going to say first and foremost? Call me a bitch all you want. Oh, also, I'm meeting Trisha tomorrow. I'm currently filming this at midnight, so I just like rapped a little bit there. I'm filming this at midnight, and I'm meeting Trisha later today as well. Shitting myself, by the way. What if she just punches me in the face? Warranted. I'm gonna be pissed as fuck if this is like Oscar and Trisha like profusely apologizing to Mikayla. Because what are you apologizing for? What are we apologizing for, guys? I don't get it.
To be honest, because
also just got this new REM Beauty stuff from Sephora. By the way, Sephora, we have got to dim those lights. Why is it so bright in Sephora? Target the lights need to be dimmed. Guys, what are we doing? Why do we have like overhead studio lighting on in Sephora at 11 p.m.? Like, cut the bullshit. I really didn't enjoy it. Oh, sorry, it was Ulta, which was even worse. Sephora was even brighter, but Ulta was bright too. We've got to dim the lights, y'all. I don't understand it. After 6 p.m. or something like that, we've got to implement something where the lights in public places dim. And I'm being so serious about this. Like, it really, 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 I have such sensitive eyes. People will always say that I have like tired looking eyes. I've always had it, right? Whenever I go into public past a certain time, and there's all these like artificial lights, it stresses my eyes out. And then I'm like trying to enjoy my time in Sephora and my eyes are like starting to water because it's too fucking artificially bright in there. That's why anytime I've ever done a photo shoot, I've had to literally be like, can we dim the lights? And also when we do, I shouldn't, this pan going crazy, clearly. On some of the dates of the last shows that we did, specifically Chicago, I had to get them to dim the lights on stage. Like, my eyes are so fucking sensitive. We've got to dim the lights in Ulta and Sephora and Target. Please. But anyways, I want to try put this stuff on. Ooh, look. Plumping gloss. And then, like, yes. Ooh. Pussy, pussy, pussy. Love it.
Obviously, Mikayla has spoke out, not loving the take from the podcast. And normally I wouldn't care if I believed what I was saying or like agreed with myself in past tense, but I did go back to see it because I was like, damn, what?
Oh no! Oscar's pulling back on his already pretty tame comments. No! We've lost another one, soldiers.
What did I really say, to be honest?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think Mikayla was pretty valid. I think my point I still kind of agree with. You know, I think I was just trying to say that Mikayla is known for being like the ultimate influencer, and she does have the knack for being able to sell the hell out of a product. So I think it was just a little distracting.
Oscar, you didn't say anything wrong. No. God damn you, Mikayla.
Maybe to have, you know, do such a confessional and honest style video as a Get Ready With Me and obviously that's her style, and I get that. But I'm just saying maybe that was a little bit distracting. And also, I think my second point...
Does he have, like, bullet-pointed notes just to get to? Love it.
...was, you know, maybe it was a little intense to say everyone who's commented on it, there's a special place in hell for them because, you know, as a content creator, you did kind of...
I love Oscar saying I don't agree with how I said it, and now he's repeating exactly the same thing in, like, a different terming. Real as hell.
Into the speculation a little bit. But granted, there is a big subsection of that's not constructive criticism. It is people who just hate her. So I totally get that. And I think those are fair points. But I think my delivery was just, like, so intense. And, like, I think I came...
So basically, he agrees with everything he said. As he should. His points weren't bad. Oh, my God.
Came across very judgmental and insensitive. And that, like, was not my intent. But I think I was just too emotional that day, to be honest. So I felt bad. I really did feel bad because I feel like... I think because I actually don't dislike Mikayla.
Yeah.
If I thought she was just like a mean, nasty person, I wouldn't care. But I have a soft spot for her. I do.
Yeah.
And anytime we've ever talked about her, I feel like...
Trisha's making sure to get those positive responses. Yes. Yeah. Just so Mikayla can't say shit.
I think she's very camp. I usually am pretty neutral on Mikayla. Mascara Gate... kind of can't, even when she was like, you try being an influencer for a day. I think I understood.
Try being an influencer for a day.
Her point. Delivery was a little much, but I understood her point.
Yeah.
So I've never really had it out for her. But I totally understand that I came across like very mean and judgmental, and especially if she's going through such a sensitive time. And I think I just worded it so insensitively. And in my head, too, I was trying to be nice by paying her compliments. I was like,
yeah.
I commend her strength. The fact that she is willing to take him back with open arms is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Her work ethic is just so insane. The fact that she was going through such a hard time was able to do it all. But I also understand how, because my tone...
This is like when Trisha did that apology on TikTok, and it was like, they're apologizing, but like, they don't really know what they're apologizing for, which is so valid and so fair. They don't need to be apologizing for anything here. It's been, like, blown out of proportion.
Was so judgmental that could be perceived as, like, passive-aggressive when it was genuine compliments, because I do think that does take a lot of strength to still be able to present and get your work done despite all of that. So I was genuine about those compliments, so.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, criticism, whenever you hear it from someone... Never, it just like never feels good. And I love Mikayla. I've always loved Mikayla. I've always defended her. And because of that, I see a lot of myself in her where it's like, I could tell she's very sensitive. Obviously she's very young and like this is all new to her. And whenever I hear criticism about myself, like I immediately shut down that person with what they're saying. Cause also no one wants to hear it. You know what I mean? No one wants to hear that. She doesn't want to hear any of that, which, you know, that was my advice to her, was just like, oh, like just don't watch anything about yourself. And granted,
also, I do just kind of want to note here, you choose what you share online, and Mikayla chooses to share the journey of, you know, her partner going into rehab and addiction and stuff like this. Like, it's easy to not talk about those things, and when you choose to talk about them and also focus on them a lot, while I understand it's part of your normal life, it becomes a public conversation. You have a comment section.
granted, like she was like, she like bought tickets to my Boston show. I didn't even know. Like Mikayla and I had talked a couple times in DM. We follow each other. I really love her. I did a TikTok on that Saturday before, which I mentioned in the last one, where I was like, which I never talk about hot topics, but I was like, damn, like I did not know. Like it really goes to show you don't know what someone's going through. And I had like so much, like I just couldn't even imagine what she was going through. So I think, yeah, like hearing any sort of criticism, even me, because I know she thought I was being mean to her in the episode, which I was like, oh my God. And if she thought that, I was like, let me apologize, because I wasn't trying to be either. Truly, because there's like 1% like is Mikayla, you know, and in general, we try not to be mean on this show. You know, it's like we kind of see all the sides of it. I think when you hear something, you kind of only hear like the negative parts of it. You know what I mean? And then she did like a follow up where she was like, okay, she was kind of defending me, and she was, so I think it was just like, and this morning we talked.
Yeah, because Mikayla was chatting shite. She literally didn't know what you were doing. She said you were coming at her, then she said you were defending her. Once the Muckers commented and was like, this was clearly just Mikayla trying to get attention for her going to Trisha's Boston show to come backstage, or for people to know that she was going to be there, it, like, my entire mind has changed on it. And in my original video, I was defending her. I was like, oh, like, I can see this more from her perspective. And then I'm like, oh.
Like, this morning of filming of Wednesday, she, like, had DM me, and she's like, I'm sorry, I had, like, a mental, like, a little breakdown, a little,
I don't blame her.
Yeah, I don't either. And that's the thing, like, it sucks when you hear anyone doing criticism, especially when everyone is. But then it's also like, if she really is a fan of mine, which like I didn't know really to that aspect of it. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? So I didn't know she like watched that or would see it. And when I apologized for that, she saw it. A lot of people kind of came for me for that. I guess the thing is like, this is what we do. Like, I mean, of course, in everyday life, because a lot of people are like, no one should be commenting on her husband except for her. Granted, if it's like real life, yes, of course, but it's influencer life and people talk about it. We saw it on People, like we talk about like People, whatever. And it sucks. Like, it's like me too. Whenever I'm like a hot topic in something, like it sucks, like hear anything. So that's why I just don't. But that is part of it. The try being an influencer for a day, I agree with that, because that is annoying. That's the only part of this job that sucks, is like everything you do will be talked about no matter what. Like if you're not posting about Cody, if you are posting about Cody, putting Cody online, like, and that's with Moses too. When we like first started dating, it's like, do you stay online? Do you not? And at the beginning, I have family members, my brother, my dad, who like, my dad maybe more so, but like don't want anything to do with social media. They're like, do not put me on it, whatever. And then, yeah, when you start dating someone that's not on social media, like Cody was and Moses and all stuff like that, it's kind of like, all right, like you have to be prepared for it. And I think like when we got a lot of hate back in 2021, like I felt so bad. It wasn't fair to Moses. I was like, that's not fair to Moses that he's getting his past dragged up and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it's not fair for sure. But you put him on social media. And I'm not saying that's with Mikayla. I'm just saying with our situation and just in general, like when you put someone on social media, that's just how it is. People are just like talk about you. And yeah, of course, I'm closer to her. And now I would never, like me and Mikayla have talked. I'm hoping to get to meet her in Boston next week. I was like, it's an honor if I get to meet you, because she's kind of.
There we go. The reason Mikayla, in my opinion now, after persuading from the Muckers, has been doing this, she gets to meet Trisha, and it becomes a big deal that she's going to the show rather than it not being one.
To my show, and like now we're closer. It's hard when we know someone too, like Brooke or anybody, when something is a hot topics. It's like, oh, if we don't talk about it, it's part of the podcast. It's kind of what we do. And I feel like we're pretty fair and kind in this day and age, especially about with women and all that stuff like that. Our angle is to never like tear them down, for sure. But it is part of it. And me too, if I'm ever talked about or there's something happening, and with this Mikayla stuff, I did get a lot of hate as well, obviously, like, oh my God, how could you have talked about Mikayla like that? And I just try to apologize when I can, because like the last thing I wanted to do was like hurt her feelings. Like that was not my intention. To me, I was like, it's a really big story. People picked it up. It's everywhere. And then like, yeah, your point of view was No pun intended. But there is a new line out.
Oh, that's
Point
the
of view
name
by
for a
Mikayla.
brand.
I love the packaging, honestly. It's a good name, actually, because then you talk about him. Not sponsored, but I do like that. I heard what you were saying, and I was like, okay, so I don't know. It's more just like a discussion. People.
There's also something really interesting now about knowing that Mikayla's, skincare line is now being talked about on all these channels. It almost makes her doing this look a little bit intentional. Her new line that came out, people are now talking about it that wouldn't have been talking about it. I don't know. Just keep your mind open. Keep it open.
People are talking about it, but I totally get, and I felt really bad. Oh my God, to make someone cry is like, especially like that when you're going through something and you're emotional, because like no matter how well you seem to be doing and know how much money you're making, like it does feel the worst, especially him being in rehab. So she has like nobody to support her. Like if Moses was gone and I was going through like all of this by myself, like that would be extremely hard. So, I felt really bad. And because I know her personally, obviously I have bias now, and especially now talking to her and stuff like that, like, but I feel like I've always had compassion. I feel like always, and I always said that when like older influencers bully her and bully in the term of like, we talked about bullying earlier, but when I think bullying is the definition of like, you're constantly talking, like she talked about Rich Lux in that video where she's like, F you, Rich Lux, because he really does relentlessly go after Mikayla for every little thing. And that's why she's like, and anyone who makes a video.
Literally, anytime I go on TikTok, it'll be Rich Lux live with a Mikayla photo behind him.
Video about this and blah, 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 like, F you, whatever. That is annoying when someone's like obsessed with you and like won't stop talking about you and it's kind of one-sided. So I've always had her back when it's like an older influencer, like, just constantly coming for her. But anyway, someone make a compilation of all the times I defended Mikayla because I love her. I always think she's camp. I totally get it. I'm for her. I'm for her business, her hustle, her product placement, all that stuff like that. I think she looks great. I think she's beautiful. She has great taste in music if she's coming to my show. So I really like her. And of course, yeah, if I make anyone cry, especially if I didn't know them, like I still feel bad. Like that happened with Lauren Gray. She was on Zach Sang like a couple of years ago. And she's like, yeah, like Trisha was on a podcast making fun of me for hanging out with Bryce Hall. And I apologize to her because like the last thing I want to do is be mean. That was kind of in my mean era when I was being mean. But I don't want to be like mean, making people cry. Again, especially like it's me, like who am I to judge literally anybody for sharing anything or oversharing or sharing too much or too little. Yeah, she does get crazy unnecessary hate for kind of nothing, you know what I mean? And girl, like do you just keep doing you. And yeah, it sucks like when you see, especially when you see someone that you're a fan of talk about you. Ooh, I've been there too. It's just the worst. And you kind of don't forget it. There's people that I like love and I still see, but I'm like, I'll never forget that time you talked about me, you know what I mean? But as Wendy Williams once said, I would ask you to protect my privacy, but I
do
wouldn't.
the hot
And she
topics.
was true. When she got.
I would ask you to respect my privacy, but who am I to talk? I do the hot topics. I love that. Okay, here's the thing. Wrapping this Mikayla, Trisha, Oscar, Moses thing up. It was, again, being sympathetic towards the fact Mikayla's going through a hard time. It was clearly something that was blown out of proportion by her. And I now am kind of to believe that she did it to bring attention to the fact that she had bought tickets to Trisha's show, not asked Trisha for tickets, so therefore some acknowledgement for that. Meeting her, whatever. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I will talk to you all later. I hope you're all doing very well, and goodbye.